Let's do an affirmation for today. Of course, this is from our 12 affirmation poster. And I think the affirmation for today is this affirmation number 5. And it says, I constantly visualize my purpose, seeing it clearly in my mind. Let me say that again. I constantly visualize my purpose, seeing it clearly in my mind. As you know, our topics, our readings are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And of course, our book is available on our website, www.herbertharris.com, and also our New You for the New Year Home Study course, and lots of other goodies. So be sure to go and visit our website. Share the broadcast today with as many people as possible. Like it and make some comments. The topic today, you can always start over. You can always make a new start. There was a quote, I think Mary Pickford said that many years ago. She was an actress, and she said, you may have a fresh start any moment you choose. You may have a fresh start any moment you choose. And the thing that really stimulated me to choose this topic today, I got a letter from an inmate out in Utah. And the letter was really, a lot of the prisons use our book. A lot of people buy it and send it to incarcerated family members, and some of the prisons have it in the library. But one of the things that I noticed, all of the letters that I get generally are, many times prisoners will write and ask for a free copy of the book. We send them a copy. Okay. But one of the things I get in the letters is this hopeful attitude, this idea that even this will pass away, that even though I may be incarcerated right now, that there's a way that I'm going to get out of this. And this letter from this, I won't say his name, but this inmate in Utah was extremely powerful, and it just showed so much hope. And he said, I'm in prison, I'm an inmate. My release date is December 2022 at 9:15 a.m. He's like, he got the time down. He said, I'm writing you because while I've been here, I've been writing a few books. And he says, my first book is called Stupidity. And what he's saying in the book is he's talking about how he chose meth over his own life, how he chose meth over his own life, and how he ended up in prison, in jail. But as the letter goes on, it says he's looking forward to getting out because he wants to have his books made into movies. He's got 2 or 3 other books that he's written. So he's used his time in prison productively. He kept his eye on the prize. And there's a lesson here. No matter what your condition may be, no matter how negative, no matter how impossible it may seem, you have the ability to see beyond your circumstances to your potential. You have the ability to see beyond your circumstances to the person you want to be, doing the things you want to do, and having the things you want to have. That's a powerful thought, folks. And as I thought about that, I was looking back at a section of the book, right in the introduction. And we put this section in the introduction because we wanted people to know real quickly the truth about success, that if you were in that status in your life, in that state in your life, where you're not happy with your condition, you may be in the prison. It may not be a physical prison, but you may be in a prison of negative thoughts. You may be in a prison of negative emotions. You may be in a prison of negative habits. You may be in a prison of bad people. But the message today is you have the ability to transform yourself. You know, it's almost like we always have a GPS. We as human beings come with a GPS built in. We have a built-in GPS. Sometimes we may not use it. As this inmate was sharing, he let meth take over his life. And so there are times when the internal GPS inside of us, we literally turn it off. We get so involved with the GPS requires two things to operate. It requires a destination and it requires a location. So many times we get so involved with the location, with our present condition, with our present situation, that we can't see the destination, the possibilities. So we literally turn our GPS off. Question arises, how do you turn your GPS off? How do you turn your success GPS off? You turn it off by taking your eye off the prize. You turn it off by focusing so much on the alligators attacking you that you don't even consider draining the swamp. And so for those who are listening today and who will listen in the future, you have within you an internal guidance system, a success GPS that can take you from where you are to wherever you want to be. But you have to want to be somewhere. You have to have some goals. You have to have dreams. You have to have faith. There's a proverb, I think it's an Arabic proverb, and it says, he who has health has hope. He who has hope has everything. And so although this young man may be incarcerated in a prison, he has a vision of himself as a writer, as a screenwriter. He has a vision of his creations being made into a movie. One of my good friends, and you'll be hearing a lot from him, that we work with, William Burton. William is an he was incarcerated, but he now teaches prisoners. He teaches in a program, and he uses the 12 universal laws of success as their handbook to create a new life for themselves. And so what is our message today? You always have the ability to make a new start. What are the steps? Number one, success must be in your mind first. In other words, don't look at your present situation, your present condition. Look at your future possibilities. Look at the life you would like to live. Look at the things you would like to possess. Look at the relationships you would like to experience. Earl Nightingale says you become what you think about most of the time. So think about what you want to be. Think about what you want to do. Think about what you want to have. Don't worry about the fact that there's a Goliath standing in your way. Know that you have the stones and the slingshot and the skill set to take that Goliath out. So let's look at how we make this happen. How do we make this happen? So success must be in your mind first. See the vision of that you want to be, do, and have. Whatever you want to be, that is your destination. And so the moment you put the destination, that you want to be, into your success GPS. Someone said, well, what is that? Success GPS is your soul. It's your spirit. It's that part of you that knows who you really are. It's that part of you that understands your purpose and keeps speaking it to you. So often we let our situation and our conditions drown out the spoken purpose. So realizing that success must be in your mind first says no matter what the negativity, what the world is saying to you, there's another way. There's another day. and it can be yours. So success must be in your mind first. Number two, when you put the destination into your GPS, you notice that the thing starts working. And as you move along the journey, it tells you what to do. When you veer left or veer right, it says go left, go right, make a U-turn. So the key to getting from where you are to where you want to be is to be constant in your efforts. That's step two. So the young man who's incarcerated, clearly he's been constant in his efforts because he has taken the time to write the stories down, to write the words that will become the book that may bring about his financial liberation. We may be seeing his book in movies. You see, even though, and that's why I really wanted to talk about this letter, because even though he's physically in prison, his mind is free to choose, to be, to do. When you're constant in your efforts, it says in the book, never take a break from your success journey. Don't stop for rest and reward too soon. So often we get a little taste of success, and the first thing we want to do is give ourselves a vacation. When you stop at the first sign of success, you become stagnant, lazy, and begin to decline. You know, we live on the river of time. And the moment you stop rowing, the moment you turn off your engines and take a break, the river takes you where it wants you to go. So to make this change, to make this new start, as your efforts begin to produce results, let those results motivate you. Let them stimulate you to work even harder. So you see, success and achievement come through continuous work. One of my quotes is, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. Thank you, Dak, for joining us. Thank you, Cheryl Amore. Thank you for joining us. Watricia, thanks for joining us. So this idea, success is in your mind first. Be constant in your efforts. And here comes a biggie, folks. Get away from the crowd at the bottom. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. You see, your associations, they may not pull you down, but they can slow you down. The wrong associations can scare off the right people from coming into your life to facilitate the change that you're seeking. One of the most difficult steps that you will face on your success journey is getting away from the crowd at the bottom. You know, the fact that 8 a.m. you're up listening to this broadcast. There are people in California. I'm sure What You Say, Baby is coming to us from Mississippi. So the fact that you're up already says that you're a different kind of person. That you're a person who's focusing on your potential, your desires, your dreams, and your goals, rather than saying, oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. You're the type of person that takes that attitude that nothing is impossible. Whatever it takes, I'll do it. There are many unsuccessful, mediocre people who fail to realize their true potential. But if you associate with them, and especially if you associate with them on a regular basis, they will undermine your success. When they say birds of a feather flock together, the mastermind principle says this: when two or more are gathered on one accord, I am is the making power, that power that uplifts, that power that enlivens, that power that empowers. I am is the making power, so that 1 + 1 is more than 2. So when two or more gathered on one accord, I am among them. So when you surround your people, when you surround yourself with people who are not going where you want to go, who are not successful, who are not aggressive, who are not dreamers, who are not doers, there is no common mind. And just their very presence will undermine your activities. You know, on your success journey, you got to be careful who's in the car. Quentin said to get to the top of the mountain, you need to climb the mountain. You got that right. And you know something, Quentin, I'm glad you brought that point up. Because if you notice, whenever people start out climbing a mountain, you generally have a big group. If you ever watch some of the films of people who climb Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro, these huge mountains, they'll start out with a big group of people. But as they go up that mountain, certain ones stop. A smaller group goes forth. Certain ones stop. And so what happens, what this is saying is, as you go on your success journey, only very special people can continue with you to the top. When you look at the pictures of the ones who get to the top of the mountain, there may be one or two, maybe three, but generally just one or two. Because it's only you and somebody like you who has that same drive, that same commitment, that same level of desire that can take you there. Get away from the crowd at the bottom. You see, once you break away from that crowd, I think one of the reasons that we let people hang around us who may not be good for us is we don't want to be lonely. We're social beings. But accept that state of temporary loneliness, knowing that in the future you're going to have everybody around you desire. Wow. Quentin is a hiker, and he said, join our hiking group in the ATL. Quentin, I will not be joining you. I am not a hiker. But let me tell you something. I appreciate you, man. Because anybody that climbs a mountain understands the struggle, the strength, the fortitude, the persistence. And I admire you. In my younger days, I may have tried it. But at this point, I don't think I'm going to do any mountain climbing. I may change, but I salute you. Thank you for the power and that clarity, because mountain climbers have a certain special thing. And there's a point of that idea of climbing and hiking and climbing that accept that period of loneliness. On your success journey, it's okay to be lonely. As a matter of fact, it's a good thing to be lonely, because when you get rid of the people who can't go where you want to go, you create a vacuum, drawing in the people who can help you go where you want to go. Then finally, the fourth point, be willing to change your life completely. So the young man that wrote that he's incarcerated, but he's writing books, he's saying he's not letting his condition impact his potential. You must be willing to change your life completely. Change your thoughts, change your emotions, change your habits, change your relationships to get to the top of the mountain, to get where you want to go. You got to accept that. Change is essential. JC, Dr. J, thanks for joining us this morning. You see, as you begin to change and climb that mountaintop, you realize that you have to make the change so that even the breathing, as you go higher and higher up the mountain, the air becomes thinner. You have to learn how to modulate your breath. That's why everybody can't go to the top. Some people can't deal with changing their breathing habits to be able to exist in the higher altitudes. Some people are uncomfortable with a breathing mask. You see, once you're willing to change your life completely, then you're able to do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, to get where you want to go. When people change their lives, we often taught in prisons for a while, and we used to have a program, we used to say, you teach. So when you come out of prison, you got to go to a new playground. You can't hang out in the same neighborhood and expect different results. You've got to get new playthings. You can't mess around with drugs and guns and things that take you down. And you've got to get new playmates, people who are congruent with where you want to go. So I say to each and every one of us, when we are seeking the deep change in our lives, we're like a person coming out of incarceration. We're coming out of the old new, the old you, and we're going to the new you. Dr. J.C. Myers, she talks about re-engineering your life. That's what we're talking about. That when you decide that you want to be different, when you want to do something different, you want to have different things, then you got to have a new playground. Go new places. Go places congruent with your destination, not your location. You got to have new playthings. Instead of the bar, instead of the beer, a book, an audio. As you're driving, you're listening to things that feed your mind. You got to have some new playmates. The moment you decide to go for it, the moment you decide to change and make a new start, you have to surround yourself with new people. People who are congruent with where you're going and what you want to be, do, and have. Woo! Wow. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This message, I think, is for each and every one of us. We all need to make a new start. Every day is a new opportunity for growth. Every day is a new opportunity to go higher up the mountain of consciousness. When we can see more, we can be more. And remember this, you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You can have anything you desire if you just believe in you and act on your beliefs with faith, with confidence, with discipline, and with persistence. Woo! When you can do those things, folks, you got it made. There's no way it won't happen for you. You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have whatever you want to have. This has been Dr. Herbert Harris. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with us. Know that the time to love is here, and you have everything you need to get everything you want. Join us on Monday for Motivation Monday, 8 a.m. On Wednesday for Wisdom Wednesday, and every Friday for Fantastic Friday, so that you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have whatever you want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come.